Hello, hello.
If I don't say,
people are on the way? Yeah.
but today there's
I know, heavy crowd.
too much.
Yeah.
Right, yes, sister, please sit down.
Jayaram. Vittal.
ಇವ್ರು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇವರು ಯಾರು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ
What's his name?
I got it from there.
He's our director from Delhi. You have to meet him.
Yeah, right.
NRL chief.
Oh, everywhere but Delhi. We have, if you are taking the picture, might as well.
I was there for a long time. After retirement, I am there. Retired in 80. No problem. Where is it?
8 minutes. A little about sister, you can everybody's saying that.
Even 10 minutes late.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Very smart looking boss.
Thank you.
And then where is our
Shiva,
Arun?
Hi, Shiva.
He's coming now. Sharma ji once, I was feeling so bad. He was not feeling well at that time. Thanks to Ajay to make us meet. All of us.
It was
It's not over. Another 4 months again.
These are from
बढ़िया था Yes, yes. Finally. Yeah.
We had that idea, no? Like PRCI, I got hold of all ministers people, public information officers club. Something happens. The new market.
We already everything coming inside here. Thank you.
वैसे तो सभी परिचित ही हैं with Brahma Kumari's organization. I think so everyone knows. Yeah, so it's very nicely our sister says that how to start with meditation, because as we just now heard also that whenever we have to start any new work, we always take the blessings. भारतीय परंपरा में तो टीका भी लगाते हैं, फिर बाद में गुड़ खिलाते हैं ना. If you have necessary, we are actually successful. So why not do it with heartily, the same thing, but in real sincerity and with heart and with the supreme energy. Can you do that? Instead of taking the blessings of a human being, and of course it is very much essential, but today we'll start this with the blessings of the supreme energy. Is it okay? So here I will be just helping you, और फिर ऊपर से जैसे आशीर्वाद का हाथ होता है, ऐसा ही परंपरा है. Now if we just consider here what we have to do, just forget our physical consciousness, just think ourselves as the real entity, the soul. हम लोग कहते भी हैं हम आत्मा हैं, सच्चाई ये है, but today let us feel it. So this physical costume, all the consciousness that I am so and so, I am so and so, this is the consciousness we are living, and which is sometimes a hurdle also. So जैसे whenever we go to the temple also, what we do, we remove the chappals and then go. None of us must have asked any time why this custom, why the chappals are removed. But actually God told us to remove this physical consciousness that I am my status, position, my gender, मैं male हूँ, मैं female हूँ, मैं head of the family हूँ, everything ये remove करके come to me as an original self. ये चप्पल remove करते हैं. तो ईजी है। वो चप्पल तो शायद हम रिमूव करते हैं या नहीं, बट ये वाली चप्पल आज हम रिमूव करते हैं। एंड देन वी इमर्ज द सुप्रीम एनर्जी अबव अस। तो जैसे it's like a meeting. Meditation is just a meeting, and every time, like just now also we were meeting with each other, we were talking to each other. This is called meeting. So here also in meditation we'll just forget about this consciousness for some moments and emerge ourselves as a point of light, visualize it, and then go beyond this physical world to a supreme energy. We all believe there is a higher energy. So just visualize it. Again the same, simple है, कोई physical form की ज़रूरत नहीं। अगर करना हो तो वो भी कर सकते, whichever physical form you like. But of course it is better if, since I am also a point of light, and the physical form, the higher source of energy, the supreme energy is also a point of light. And as if both the lights are meeting each other, and the supreme light is showering blessings on us for this day. So this is what we have to visualize. I'm sure every one of us can do that, very easy. And let's take whatever blessings we want for this conference, for the people around us, for the society, in this simple meditation. So it is not just prayer, but heartily we are receiving these blessings. And let me tell you that whatever we are thinking, it is not an imagination. It's the reality, because it's a vibrations, and God is nothing but a vibration. So if I am thinking it heartily, it is actually creating that reality. So let's start with that. Okay, so I'll help you with a commentary. If the lights could be a bit dim, it would be wonderful. Some of the lights could be a bit off. And if you wish to close the eyes, you can close, or if you wish to open, whatever you wish. And now just sitting very straight. Let's try to forget this consciousness for some while. रात को भी हम जब लूज कपड़े पहनते हैं हमें अच्छा लगता है, तो this tightness of the consciousness will remove for some time. I, the point of light, a pure energy, and the soul seated in this body in the center of the forehead. We are visualizing ourselves as a point of light situated in this body. Now let me remove all the layers of the consciousness. I am the body. I am the whatever designation I feel I have for myself. Let's first remove all this designation. Now comes the relations, my mom who, my brother who. Let's forget this consciousness also, removing these layers of ego. And again the gender, my male who, my female who. And now I come to my original feeling. I am a point of light, a very pure energy in this body. situated in the center of the forehead. Therefore, we put tika on the center. I am this powerful light, the living energy, very powerful, the child of a supreme light. Today, on this special occasion, let us take the blessings from our Father, the highest energy. Let's go to Him. So now I, the point of light, am flying high, have left this consciousness of this body, and am flying high, going beyond this material world, going away to a transcendental world, beyond the skies. And there I could see a very powerful light. A golden red light, who is the supreme energy. I also am energy, a powerful entity, a powerful soul. And I am now before the highest energy, the supreme light. We always say Father, so a child meeting his father, our Father. And now I could feel He is the ocean of peace, ocean of bliss. I could feel the peaceful vibrations from the Supreme Light showering on me, just like the rays of sun. The moment we stand before it, the heat, we could feel it. Similarly, the sun, the supreme light, I, the point of light, am standing before him, and I could feel the rays of peace, rays of love from the ocean of peace. परमात्मा शांति का सागर है, ऑटोमेटिक उससे मुझे शांति की किरणें मिल रही है, और वो सारी लाइट मेरे अंदर जा रही है। और I'm filling myself completely with this light, and as I'm getting filled with this light, I could feel the feelings. You are a successful soul. The blessings from the Supreme. You are a powerful soul. You are the child of the highest power. So you are a very powerful soul. The blessings being showered on me in the form of the rays. And a beautiful feeling from the Supreme. सफलता आपका जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है. आप सदा सफल हो ही. Feeling the light as if showering on me, the point of light, having filled myself with these blessings, we all now come down, flying down, back to this consciousness in this body, again seated in the center of the forehead, and feeling very blessed, as if the Supreme Light is still over me. I am a fortunate soul. I am a blessed soul. And with these blessings, I wish the whole society and the whole world my blessings always to all and each one of them. I, a powerful soul and a successful soul. I am a powerful soul. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you very much. So I'm sure throughout the conference, as much as possible, we should try to visualize that the rays are still power showering on me. Okay? Om Shanti. So thanks very much, our brother Jayaram and Geetha. So they have invited us for this, and we have started with a very powerful feeling in this conference. Thank you very much once again. Om Shanti.
That you took us through, और ये छोटा सा ध्यान का सत्र आपने हमें कराया है और प्रैक्टिकल हमने इसे महसूस किया है, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत आभार. आपने समय निकाला और आप यहाँ पहुँचे. Thank you.
Enlightening, and it gave us a lot of motivation this morning coming here and gathering, and the day started off with the best way to start off. Very nice. Shortly we'll just begin with the just give us 5 minutes and we will just begin. The vital pillars of a progressive nation, transformative governance. On behalf of the Public Relations Council of India, an institution that has for over 2 decades championed ethical communication, professional excellence and meaningful public dialogue, it is my profound honor and privilege to welcome you all to this Transformative Governance Symposium and Next Gen Awards.
हम आगे लेकर चलते हैं और किसी भी एंटरप्राइज की जो आत्मा होती है उसका एंथम उसके सॉन्ग के साथ ही हम एसोसिएट करते हैं. Every meaningful gathering begins by bringing hearts and minds together. Before we formally commence today's proceedings, let us first celebrate the spirit and vision of Public Relations Council of India through the PRCI song. हम अपनी टीम से निवेदन करना चाहेंगे कि आप सॉन्ग को प्ले करें और जब तक ये सॉन्ग प्ले होगा आइए इसकी आत्मा को महसूस करते हैं और शब्दों से ज़्यादा भावनाओं पर गौर करते हैं. प्लीज प्ले करें.
We are here to dedicate. We are here to reiterate. We are here to communicate, to make a better world, to make a better world. We are here with ideas to share. We are here with voices to air. We are here with concern and care to make a better world, to make a better world. We are here for friendship and fun. We are here, the fraternity has grown. We are here, just professionals and none, to make a better world, to make a better world. We are here, different race and color. We are here, trusting one another. We are here with another feather to make a better world, to make a better world. We are here to reason you high. We are here to or die. We are here for PRCI to make a better world, to make a better world, to make a better world.
Thank you to the PRCI team. That's a wonderful video visual. And it shows that what is the vision of PRCI. Ladies and gentlemen, every institution derives its strength from visionary leadership, unwavering integrity, and a shared commitment to public service. This morning, we are deeply privileged to be in this august presence of distinguished personalities whose collective wisdom represents the finest traditions of the Indian judiciary, civil services, governance, public information and administration, media, public policy, and strategic communication. May I now, with profound respect and immense honor, commence the ceremonial welcome of our esteemed dignitaries onto the dais.
थैंक यू। आइए अब विधिवत स्वागत करते हैं अपने सभी अतिथियों का मंच पर, और मैं सभी के नाम अनाउंस यहाँ करने जा रही हूँ। निवेदन है आपसे कि आप कृपया मंच पर पधारें। सर्वप्रथम मैं निवेदन करना चाहूँगी फॉर्मर एडिटर इंडिया टुडे एंड प्रेसिडेंट फॉरेन कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट्स क्लब श्री एस वेंकट नारायण जी से कि आप पधारें, और श्री सोमेंद्र हर्षी चेयरमैन जयपुर चैप्टर उन्हें प्लीज मंच तक एस्कॉर्ट करें। हम स्वागत करते हैं सर आपका, कृपया मंच पर पधारें। तालियों के साथ स्वागत श्री एस वेंकट नारायण जी, और तालियों में थोड़ा जोश होना चाहिए क्योंकि हम मंच पर आमंत्रित कर रहे हैं अपने सभी अतिथियों को। मैं स्वागत करती हूँ सर आपका, मंच पर आपका अभिनंदन है, वंदन है, स्वागत। आइए जब तक श्री एस वेंकट नारायण जी पधार रहे हैं और अपने स्थान पर वो बैठने जा रहे हैं, मैं निवेदन करना चाहूंगी फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस हाई कोर्ट ऑफ जुडिकेचर एट पटना ऑनरेबल श्री जस्टिस P.B.Bajanthri जी से कि कृपया आप पधारें, और श्री रामकृष्ण जी जो कि चेयरमैन हैं अमरावती चैप्टर के, कृपया मंच पर आप सर को लेकर आए। जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत। प्लीज जॉइन हैंड्स लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन एज वी वेलकम श्री जस्टिस P.B.Bajanthri जी ऑन स्टेज। अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू यू सर, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। आइए अब हम निवेदन करना चाहेंगे श्री B.B. विट्टल जी से, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर HR नेशनल फर्टिलाइजर्स लिमिटेड से कि आप कृपया पधारें, और श्री संदीप झा जी GM PR एयरपोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, कृपया उन्हें मंच पर लेकर आए। जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत। प्लीज जॉइन हैंड्स लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन एज वी वेलकम ऑन स्टेज श्री B.B. विट्टल जी। पुनः बहुत बहुत स्वागत। श्री बसवा प्रभु पाटिल जी, मैं निवेदन करना चाहूंगी एडवोकेट सर इज आई गेस स्टिल ऑन हिज वे। मैं निवेदन करती हूँ श्री एस नरेंद्र जी से, फॉर्मर प्रिंसिपल इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड इंफॉर्मेशन एडवाइजर टू द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, और श्री अजय गुप्ता जी से निवेदन है कि कृपया सर को मंच पर लेकर आएं। श्री अजय गुप्ता जी जो कि डायरेक्टर हैं PRCI फ्रॉम दिल्ली, अब कृपया श्री एस नरेंद्र जी को, फॉर्मर प्रिंसिपल इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड इंफॉर्मेशन एडवाइजर टू द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, सर पधार रहे हैं मंच पर। हम बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हैं श्री नरेंद्र जी का, और तालियों में थोड़ा जोश होना चाहिए। हमारे सभी गणमान्य अतिथि हमारे मध्य आज पधारे हैं, हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं सभी का। मैं अब निवेदन करना चाहूंगी रोटेरियन AKS डॉक्टर श्रीनिवासन जी से कि पधारे मिस शिवानी जो हमारे चेयरपर्सन है दिल्ली चैप्टर की, वो प्लीज सर को मंच पर लेकर आए। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आपका, रोटेरियन AKS डॉक्टर श्रीनिवासन जी, डायरेक्टर गवर्निंग काउंसिल PRCI। जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत, बहुत बहुत स्वागत। मैं स्वागत करती हूँ नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट PRCI मिस गीता शंकर जी का मंच पर। गीता जी बहुत बहुत स्वागत, प्लीज जॉइन अस ऑन स्टेज, प्लीज जॉइन हैंड्स लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। PRCI के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हमारे साथ अब पधार रहे हैं मंच पर। मैं इन्हीं के साथ साथ चेयरमैन गवर्निंग काउंसिल PRCI डॉक्टर T विनय कुमार जी से निवेदन करती हूँ कि कृपया आप सर मंच पर पधारें। डॉक्टर T विनय कुमार to please join us. Please join hands, ladies and gentlemen. And we also invite Chief Mentor, Chairman Emeritus PRCI, Shri M.B. Jayaram ji to join us on stage. तालियों के साथ स्वागत श्री M.B. Jayaram ji to please join us on stage. जी, sir.
I also request one of the other distinguished dignitary here, G.S.Bawa sir, to please come to the dais.
हमारे सभी गणमान्य अतिथि लगभग पहुंच चुके हैं स्टेज पर, और इसी के साथ अब हम कार्यक्रम को विधिवत आगे लेकर चलेंगे। तो जिस प्रकार किसी भी समारोह में स्वागत उद्बोधन के साथ प्रोग्राम की एक मधुर शुरुआत होती है, तो सभी का स्वागत करने के लिए और इस प्रोग्राम का कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट करने के लिए अब मैं निवेदन करूंगी मेरी को होस्ट गगना से कि प्लीज आप हमारे जो
I will now take the privilege of introducing our speaker for the welcome address. It is none other than Shri M.B. Jayaram, Chief Mentor, Chairman Emeritus PRCI. M.B. Jayaram hails from Sulia, Karnataka, and at KPCL he rose from Public Relation Manager to Executive Director of Corporate Communications and ultimately Director Administration. He is the mastermind behind the Public Relation Council of India and now serving as its Chairman and Chief Mentor. Under his leadership, over 20 years ago, this PRCI was brought into the shape, and PRCI grew to 60 national and 8 international chapters, driving many global meets and seminars. Sir, I would please request you to please render the welcome address.
जयराम जी से निवेदन है। सर आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि कृपया वेलकम एड्रेस आप प्लीज प्रेजेंट करें। स्वागत है।
Distinguished speakers, awardees, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Transformational Governance Symposium and Next Gen Awards being held here today under the aegis of PRCI. Today's gathering is an important one because it brings together thought leaders, practitioners, and young achievers, we're all here today on a common platform to deliberate on the evolving ideas of governance and leadership and innovation in a time of rapid change. The need of the governance that is visionary, inclusive, accountable, and future ready has ever been greater. The theme of transformational governance reflects a deep and urgent national and global need. Governance today must move beyond administration to enable impact beyond. We in PRCI always say and think of a better world. You must have heard, you must have seen our film also before now, just now. We are here to dedicate, we are here to retreat, we are here to communicate, to make a better world. We are here with ideas and to share. We are here with voice to air. We are here with concern and care to make a better world. For friendship and fun, we are here, the entire PRCI as one. We are here just to professionals and none to make a better world. We are here to different race and colors. We are here trusting one another. We are here with yet another feather to make a better world. We are here to reach a new high. We are here to do or die. This is what the slogan we always say. We believe in relationship. We believe in everything to make a better world. Respected ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to have this program much earlier to that because of our Karnataka ministry reshuffling taking place at the same time at Bangalore. They wanted to come, some of the senior most officers, they wanted to come here. Unfortunately, they could not make it. Maybe now the swearing ceremony is on at Bangalore, so we can find some of the aspirants of the ministries. They are there. And we had to wait for some time. That was the delay. Then we got the intimation from Bangalore that they are at it. So we will be calling them again. We may be having another program later, maybe another after 10 days or so. We will again make them to come and tell about them and what they have done, their sacrifices, etc. We have systems to serve citizens and beyond routine. Processes to create meaningful transformation. It is heartening to see such a platform where ideas can be exchanged, perspectives can be shared, and new directions can emerge. Equally significant is that Next Gen Awards segment of this function at PRCI. We have always believed the encouraging excellence, recognizing talent, and celebrating those who, during innovation, commitment, and purpose to their work. The next generation is not only the future, it is the present force of change. By recognizing their efforts, we are investing in a stronger and more responsible tomorrow. I congratulate all the awardees who is going to receive after some time for their achievements and commend them for setting a high standard of excellence. Also extend my appreciation to the organizers, every member, jury members, etc., speakers, and all those who have contributed for making this event possible. As a chairman emeritus of PRCI, I am deeply encouraged by initiatives that combine knowledge, recognition, and professional growth. Such platforms strengthen our community and reinforce our shared commitment to leadership, service, and nation building. I wish this symposium, along with the PRSD, Publication Society of India, they are also coming with us, helping us, and joining hands with us. There are so many people are gathered here. Mr. Bawa is already here. You can see him. And other office bearers are also here. Thank you so much for helping us to make it so powerful today and in the nation building. I wish the symposium and the award function a great success, and I am confident that the deliberations and celebrations today will inspire many more meaningful contributions in the time ahead. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My very best wishes to all of you, and thank you so much.
स्वागत उद्बोधन प्रस्तुत करने के लिए बहुत बहुत आभार। और जैसा कि आपने कहा कि आइडियाज नीड टू बी शेयर्ड एंड पर्सपेक्टिव्स नीड्स टू बी एक्सचेंज्ड। वाकई आज वही दिन है जब ये सब हम आज करेंगे। धन्यवाद। और अब आगे बढ़ते हैं। सभी के स्वागत के पश्चात अब बारी आती है कि PRCI के बारे में बात की जाए। तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगी मेरी को-होस्ट से कि कृपया आप हमारे अगले स्पीकर को इंट्रोड्यूस करें।
Every institution flourishes when vision is complemented by strong governance and when purpose is supported by thoughtful leadership. To take us through the remarkable journey, philosophy and future vision of PRCI, may I now request our distinct privilege of inviting Shri Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, Chairman of the Governing Council of the Public Relationship Council of India, sir, to please render the concept note for PRCI.
Distinguished guests, leaders of the industry, esteemed colleagues, and my dear friends. A very warm welcome to you all. It's an honor to speak to such an august gathering here in the heart of the around us today. One truth stands out. Communication is no longer just a support function. It is strategic bedrock of leadership, trust, and reputation. In an era where information flows at lightning speed, public relations holds the immense power and responsibility to build bridges, foster trust, and shape societal progress. It is with this core conviction that the Public Relations Council of India, PRCI, operates. Established in 2004 by our founder and chief mentor, M.B. Jayaram, and a group of professionals, PRCI was envisioned as a premier pan-India platform to bring together the entire ecosystem of communication. PR practitioners, corporate communicators, media professionals, advertising pioneers, digital strategists, and academia. The mission is centered on three core pillars. First and foremost is professional enrichment. Establishing rigorous professional standards and encouraging ethical communication across private, public, and social sectors. The second pillar is knowledge exchange. Providing vibrant chapter level and national forums across our 60 active chapters in India to cross-pollinate ideas, shape best practices, and collaborate. And the last and final one is the thought leadership and excellence. Recognizing outstanding contributions through national platforms like the annual Global Communication Conclave, the prestigious Chanakya and Kaudilya Awards, World PR Day, Doctors Day, and various other activities of zones and chapters. We are also bringing out 3 magazines, Chanakya, Kaudilya, and Adviga, regularly. As we step further into the digital age, PRCI is actively shaping the future of profession. The landscape is evolving rapidly with AI-driven analytics, real-time crisis response, and new age brand storytelling. PRCI's roadmap for the future focuses on equipping practitioners with modern toolkits while preserving human empathy and ethical truthfulness. Expanding international chapter networks to give Indian communicators a global platform and voice. We already have our World Communicators Council, which has 11 chapters worldwide, and it is expanding. Next is the positioning of PR as a catalyst for sustainable development and social change. That is one of the main objectives. For seasoned practitioners and mid-career PR leaders, PRCI serves as an indispensable career companion. It provides high-impact networking across to peer mentorship, continuous learning programs, accreditation, and a unified forum to advocate for industry standards. During the COVID especially, we were having a lot of workshops and activities because all were sitting at home and all were having a lot of time. So that time we developed a pool of speakers, of professionals. They will go around India to any chapter or university or college and take classes and sessions and workshops. That system we developed during the COVID days. The most vibrant wing of PRCI is our youth movement, the Young Communicators Club. We believe that to build sustainable future for communication, we must nurture the leaders of tomorrow while they are still in universities. Through ICC, PRCI offers students and young professionals campus to corporate pathways, direct interaction with industry veterans, industry visits, real-world project exposures, internship, etc. Skill development and leadership, workshops on public speaking, debate, digital narrative creation, and ethical storytelling. Skill and publishing platforms, opportunities to write, edit, and contribute to youth-focused publications like our Kaudilya magazine, meant for the youth, and regional media forums. PRCI is not just an organization, it is a movement dedicated to elevating the stature of public relations, empowering practitioners, and inspiring the next generation of communicators. So, to enable communication for a better world. Thank you.
And also for letting us know about the exemplary work that is being carried out in different fields. Taking the program further, ladies and gentlemen, may I please now invite National President PRCI, Ms. Geetha Shankar, who is a distinguished learning and development professional and a communication strategist with 3 decades of experience in media, training, and public relations. As founder of the Center for Communication Excellence, Ms. Geetha has international exposure, living and working in Singapore, the Gulf, and the United States. She is a TEDx speaker and has authored a book, Shoreless Infinite. She is the National President of the Public Relations Council of India, and I take the opportunity of requesting her to please address us and talk about the symposium and awards. Please join hands, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome Ms. Geetha to talk.
dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, the PR fraternity, and our dear friends. Well, the PRCI, Public Relations Council of India, you would have known what we are. We had a serious thought to convene a transformation governance symposium to position communication professionals like most of you here as active partners in shaping better governance, not just as message public interest. Our own positioning stresses that PR is about social responsibility and positive change. It is not just brand image. Well, we came up with the idea that a symposium on governance will throw the gates open to demonstrate that communication can help fight misinformation, build institutional trust, and bridge the gap between the citizens and the state. The second factor why we convened this is PRCI wanted to give governance a communication lens, I would say. PRCI as a national body is uniquely placed to convene bureaucrats, administrators, communicators, and media to discuss how communication or how governance can be made more transparent, more participatory, and accountable through strategic communication. Because the public perception is that governance reforms often fail in implementation because public policies are not clearly communicated and stakeholders are not engaged and feedback from the citizens is weak. The third factor, PRCI wanted to create a high-level national forum. Our ambitious founder and mentor, along with the senior leaders, wanted to convene such a forum and move Public Relations Council of India beyond industry-centric events and step into national building role. We wanted to celebrate good governance and encourage replication of the best practices and also promote ethical, responsive leadership in public administrations. Strengthening Public Relations Council of India's leadership role was the fourth objective. We aim to strengthen PRCI's brand as a thought leader that connects communication, governance, and societal transformation. Well, and we believe that through this event, we are not a support function, but our work is central to democracy, central to policy success and public trust. We further discussed that we need to honor the unsung heroes, distinct from the Public Relations Council of India's existing corporate awards. The Next Gen Awards honors public institutions and public servants who have moved beyond conventional administration and they have devised systems that are transparent, that are accountable, that are innovative and citizen-centric. Then what did PRCI do? We started inviting nominations from government departments and public sector organizations across India to participate in the awards process. The response was encouraging. Well, this award platform, my dear friends, is unique in its perspective because it spotlights the officials and institutions who are building a new India, where water reaches villages, where the police protect citizens, and education reaches every learner, and governance becomes more responsive and accountable. And these awards are not about politics, they are about governance that works. That is why we have named it as a Next Gen. N and the G in the Next Gen signify governance that is forward-looking, governance that is built for the India tomorrow. Well, and we celebrate the administrators and the institutions that champion transparency, that champion digital innovation, and accountability, and also measurable public impact. Well, my dear dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, this symposium paired with the Next Gen Governance Award is bound to become a national platform where exemplary public administrators and institutions are going to be recognized for innovative governance. Well, and we want this symposium to continue every year, and the awards too, as we are extremely pleased that we have made an auspicious beginning with all of you today. Jai Hind, and thank you so much.
जी हमें संबोधित कर रही थी, बहुत बहुत आभार। थैंक यू गीता जी। और अब वो क्षण आ चुका है जहां पर सेरेमोनियल लाइटिंग ऑफ द लैम्प, दीप प्रज्वलन हम करेंगे। मैं निवेदन करना चाहूंगी कीर्तना से कि प्लीज आप अब इसे आगे लेकर चलें।
असतोमा सद्गमय तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम शांति शांति शांति। As we formally inaugurate the symposium, may this light
बढ़िया गुड फोटो बना लो और एक मिनट ग्रुप
we have ceremony.
चलिए बढ़िया गुड फोटो बना लो।
Is here, and this marks the beginning and inauguration of PRCI Transformative Governance Symposium and Next Gen Awards.
High on Indian and South Asian politics from close quarters through some of the most transformative phases in the region's post-independence history, from the Indira Gandhi era to today's multi-party coalition-dominated party. Shri Venkat Narayan speaks on journalism, media ethics and public affairs to diverse audiences across India and abroad. He regularly addresses conferences, universities and professional forums on contemporary issues in media and governance, as well as engages with readers and audiences as a columnist, mentor and speaker at university lectures, etc. May I please take the opportunity of requesting you, sir, to please address the August gathering. Shri Venkat Narayan ji. तालियों के साथ स्वागत वेंकट नारायण जी। आप चाहे तो बैठे बैठे भी बोल सकते हैं। जैसे
members of the Public Relations Council of India, award winners, friends from civil society and the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a privilege to be with you today at the first PRCI Transformative Governance Symposium and Next Gen Governance Awards. I congratulate the Public Relations Council of India on organizing an event devoted to a subject that affects every one of India's 1.5 billion people, that is the quality of governance. I have spent nearly 6 decades as a journalist observing India at close quarters. Its politics, its governments, its institutions, its leaders, and most importantly, its people. Over those decades, India has changed almost beyond recognition. We have moved from an era of shortages and controls to an increasingly confident, technology-driven economy. We have seen governments come and go, coalitions rise and fall, and extraordinary advances in science, communications, and economic development. But one question has remained constant. What does government mean to the ordinary citizen? For the citizen, governance is not an abstract concept. Governance is the school his child attends. It is the hospital he or she can reach in an emergency. It is the water coming from the tap. Service available on a mobile telephone without requiring a citizen to stand in a queue. Government should make the citizen's life easier, not more difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, India today stands at an extraordinary moment. We are the world's most populous country. We are one of its largest economies. We have become an important technological power, and our ambitions are enormous. But the true measure of India's progress cannot be only the size of our GDP, the height of our skyscrapers, or the sophistication of our technology. The ultimate test must be, has the life of the ordinary Indian improved? That brings me to the first pillar of transformative governance: leadership. Institutions matter enormously. Systems matter. Technology matters. But leadership matters too. Transformative leaders have one quality in common. They are not satisfied with administering the present. They imagine a different future. And then they build institutions and systems capable of delivering that future. Over the course of my journalistic career, I have had the opportunity to observe many Indian prime ministers, 9 of the 13 actually, and political leaders at close quarters. They differ profoundly in ideology, temperament, and leadership style. But history ultimately judges governments not merely by their intentions or their slogans. It judges them by outcomes. Did they create institutions? Did they expand opportunity? Did they improve people's lives? Did they leave the country stronger than they found it? Good governance, therefore, requires something beyond political leadership. It requires administrative leadership. India possesses one of the world's largest and most experienced civil services. The civil servant occupies an extraordinary position in our democracy. A minister may conceive a policy, Parliament may approve it, a government may announce it, but ultimately somebody has to make it work. That person is very often a civil servant, sometimes sitting in a state capital, sometimes in a district headquarters, and sometimes hundreds of kilometers away from Delhi. This is why the finest administrators I have encountered have always understood something very important. Authority is not the same thing as leadership. Authority comes with office. Leadership comes from what you do with that office. The second great force transforming governance is technology. India's technological transformation during the past few decades has been remarkable. Millions of Indians today can conduct financial transactions electronically. Government benefits can be transferred directly. Documents can be accessed digitally. Public services that once required paperwork, intermediaries, and repeated visits to the government offices can increasingly be delivered online. Technology has therefore achieved something much larger than convenience. It has begun to change the relationship between the Indian citizen and the Indian state. Think about what happens when a government service becomes digital. A queue disappears, a form disappears, an intermediary may also disappear. Discretion can be reduced. The opportunity for corruption can be reduced. And most importantly, the citizens' time is respected. That last point is frequently overlooked. We often calculate the cost of government programs, but we rarely calculate the cost of bad governance to the citizen. What is the cost of losing a day's wages because somebody must visit a government office? What is the cost of traveling repeatedly to obtain one certificate? What is the cost of waiting months for a legitimate payment? And what is the human cost of uncertainty? Technology can eliminate much of this, but we must remember something equally important. Technology is a tool. It is not governance itself. A badly designed bureaucratic process does not automatically become a good process merely because we put it online. Digitizing unnecessary bureaucracy simply creates a digital bureaucracy. The objective should therefore not be to computerize every procedure. The objective should be to ask, why does this procedure exist in the first place? Can it be simplified? Can 2 approvals become 1? Can 10 documents become 2? Can government departments share information instead of repeatedly asking citizens to submit the same information? This is where transformative governance begins, not with digitization alone, but with redesign. The third pillar is transparency. Transparency is sometimes treated as something governments provide reluctantly. I believe we should look at it differently. Transparency is an instrument of efficient government. When rules are clear, decisions become easier to understand. When processes can be tracked, accountability improves. When government data is available, accessible, journalists, researchers, citizens and civil society can identify problems earlier. And when citizens understand why decisions have been made, public trust improves. This is especially important today. We live in an age of instantaneous communication. Information travels around the world in seconds. Rumor travels even faster. Governments therefore cannot communicate as they did 30 or 40 years ago. Public communication must be timely, accurate and credible. And this is particularly relevant to the Public Relations Council of India. Public relations in government should never mean propaganda. Its purpose should be communication. There is an important difference here. Propaganda tells people what to think. Communication tells people what government is doing, why it is doing it, what citizens are entitled to, and how they can participate. And communication must travel in both directions. Sorry. Government must speak, but government must also listen. Which brings me to perhaps the most important pillar of all, citizen engagement. The citizen cannot merely be the recipient of governance. The citizen must increasingly become a participant in governance. India is too large, too diverse, and too complex for every solution to come from New Delhi or even from state capitals. Innovation often comes from districts, municipalities, panchayats, entrepreneurs, voluntary organizations, and ordinary citizens. A district collector may discover a better way of delivering a welfare program. A municipal commissioner may develop a successful waste management system. A school administrator may dramatically improve learning outcomes. A police officer may develop a better system for responding to citizens. The challenge is to identify these successes, measure them honestly, and then replicate what works. That is why awards such as the PRCI Next Gen Governance Awards have value. They recognize initiatives that advance transparency, accountability, and public trust, and highlight practices capable of becoming models for wider replication. But I would suggest that recognition should carry an additional responsibility. Every award-winning innovation should answer 3 questions. What actually changed? How was the change measured? And can somebody else replicate it? If an innovation works only because one exceptional officer happens to be present, it is an achievement. But if that innovation continues after that officer has been transferred and can be reproduced elsewhere, it becomes institutional reform. That distinction is critical. India has produced thousands of outstanding civil servants. Many have transformed districts and departments. But our challenge is to ensure that excellence does not disappear when individuals move. We must convert individual excellence into institutional excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another dimension of governance that technology cannot solve. It is ethics. Artificial intelligence can process information. Computers can analyze enormous amounts of data. Digital platforms can deliver services. But technology cannot decide what is morally right for society. those decisions remain human. As governments acquire more data and more powerful technological tools, the responsibility to use them fairly becomes even greater. Efficiency must never come at the expense of dignity. Technology must never exclude those who cannot use it. A sophisticated digital system means little to an elderly citizen who cannot navigate it, or to a poor citizen who lacks connectivity. Therefore, the principle must always be digital first, but citizen always. Every digital system must have a human safety net. No Indian should lose an entitlement merely because he or she cannot negotiate a technological process. That is what citizen-centric governance really means. And there is one final ingredient without which transformative governance cannot survive: trust. Trust takes years to build, but minutes to destroy. Citizens must trust that government institutions will treat them fairly. Governments must trust capable administrators to innovate. Administrators must trust citizens enough to listen to them. And citizens must trust that when government makes a promise, somebody will be accountable for delivering it. Trust cannot be demanded. It has to be earned. It is earned through competence. It is earned through transparency. It is earned through fairness. And above all, it is earned through results. As India looks towards the coming decades, our aspirations will become larger. But perhaps our philosophy of governance should become simpler. Every policy, every program, every digital platform, and every administrative reform should ultimately face one test. Does this improve the citizen's life? If the answer is yes, expand it. If the answer is no, redesign it. And if something no longer serves any useful purpose, have the courage to abolish it. That, to me, is transformative governance. It's not government becoming bigger, it is not government becoming smaller. It is government becoming better. Before I conclude, I want to congratulate the institution and individuals being honored today with the PRCI Next Gen Governance Awards. Awards are a recognition of work already done. But the best awards also create expectations for what comes next. May your achievements inspire other administrators and institutions. May successful experiments become national models, and may we eventually reach a point where extraordinary governance is no longer extraordinary because it has become the normal experience of every citizen. India's transformation will ultimately not be accomplished by technology alone, not by governments alone. It will come from the combination of visionary leadership, ethical administration, intelligent technology, transparent institutions, and engaged citizens. If we can bring those forces together, India will not merely become a more prosperous country, it will become a country in which every citizen can say, the government sees me, my government hears me, and my government works for me. That is the India we should strive to build. That is governance that works, and that is truly transformative governance. Thank you.
Government that sees me, hears me, and works for me. Thank you very much. We were listening to Shri S. Venkat Narayan, who's been a former editor, India Today, and President, Foreign Correspondents Club. Thank you for sharing your valuable perspectives with all of us, sir. As we move ahead with the agenda, now will be the time to introduce our guest of honor who will be addressing us now.
Working with union ministers, the Parliament of India, constitutional bodies, central public sector undertakings and state governments, widely he has travelled and gained experience in administration, public relations and center-state coordination. Academically, Vittal was awarded the gold medal in MA Journalism and Mass Communication. He is currently the Executive Director HR, National Fertilizers Limited, NFL, a Government of India undertaking under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. As Executive Director, he is also a people-centric leadership and institutional growth champion. So we welcome you to please address the gathering, sir.
Honorable Justice P.B.Bajanthri ji, former Chief Justice, Patna High Court, Sri Venkat Narayan, distinguished journalist and keynote speaker, Sri S. Narendra, presiding officer of the Today Symposium, Sri M.B. Jayaram, Chairman Emeritus, Sri T. Vinay Kumar, Chairman Governing Council, PRCI, Ms. Geetha, Shankar, National President, PRCI, Sri Sharma, General Secretary, Baldevraj, Ajay Gupta, distinguished awardees, members of the Public Relations Council of India, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon everyone. Indeed, it is a matter of great honor and privilege to be with you today at PRCI Transformative Governance Symposium and next year National Award Ceremony 2026. I sincerely congratulate the Public Relations Council of India for organizing this timely and meaningful initiative. PRCI has consistently championed excellence in communication, leadership and governance. Today's symposium and award ceremony reflects its unwavering commitment to the recognition of individuals and institutions that are shaping a better future through innovation and responsible governance. The theme transformative governance is both relevant and inspiring. Governance today no longer measured merely by policies framed or files processed. It is measured by the impact it creates on lives of citizens. It is about delivering services with efficiency, transparency, accountability and compassion. The expectations of citizens have changed dramatically. They seek responsive institutions, seamless digital services, quicker decision making, and above all, the trust. This transformation requires governments, public institutions and organizations to continuously innovate while remaining deep-rooted in ethics and public services. India is witnessing one of the most significant governance transformations in its history. Initiatives such as Digital India, Jindal, Aadhaar, direct benefit to farmers, UPI, and the rapid adoption of digital public infrastructure have redefined how governance is delivered. These initiatives are demonstrated with technological adoption. Yet, technology alone cannot transform institutions. I believe behind every successful reforms is committed public servant, an inspired leader, an innovative team, and an organization that values integrity, competence, and services. Human capital remains the most important pillars of transformational governance. I have spent more than 3 decades in public administration and human resources management. I have learned one enduring lesson. Organizations do not become great because they have extraordinary policies. They become great because ordinary people perform their duties extraordinarily well. This is why the leadership development, continuous learning, employees engagement, and ethical work culture are indispensable for building future-ready institutions. Today's Next Gen National Award celebrates precisely these values. Every award recipient represents the story of perseverance, innovation, excellence, and commitment to society. These awards are not merely recognition of the past achievements, they are inspiration for the future generations. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the award winners. Your work has created value for beyond your organizations. You have become role models for others to emulate. I would also like to emphasize an indispensable role of public relations in modern governance. Communication is no longer a supporting function. It is a strategic function. Effective governance depends on effective communications. Public relations professionals today build bridges between institutions and citizens. They shape public trust, encourage dialogues, manage crisis responsibility, and encourage and ensure that transparency becomes a culture rather than compliance requirement. In an age of social media, artificial intelligence, and instantaneous information, credibility is the most valuable asset any institution can possess. Facts must be communicated with clarity, empathy, and responsibility. As we look toward the future of artificial intelligence, data analytics, automation, and sustainability will continue to transform governance. However, we must ensure that technological progress is always guided by human values. Innovation without ethics can be dangerous. Efficiency without empathy can be insensitive. Growth without inclusion cannot be sustainable. Therefore, the future governance must rest on 5 enduring pillars: integrity in leadership, transparency in decision making, innovation in service delivery, and collaboration among stakeholders and compassion towards every citizen. If these values guide our institutions, governance will not merely become efficient, it will become transformative either. Before I conclude, let me once again compliment PRCI for organizing this outstanding symposium and for honoring excellence through the Next Gen National Awards. Such platform encourages healthy competition, inspire innovation, and strengthen the spirit of national building. I am confident that today's deliberation will generate new ideas, meaningful partnership, and practical solutions that will contribute to build a stronger, more transparent, and more inclusive India. I congratulate all the organizers, the distinguished speakers, and especially the award recipients. May your achievements continue to inspire excellence in governance and communication across our nation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Sharing your valuable thoughts with all of us today, and thank you for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move ahead with the agenda, I take the opportunity of now requesting and inviting our guest of honor, who is also a distinguished speaker and brings with him decades of leadership experience in public institutions and infrastructure, to speak now. As chairman of PRST and former general manager of the Airports Authority of India, he has witnessed firsthand how thoughtful leadership communication guides organizations through complexity and change. Ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands as we invite Shri G.S.Bawa to please address the gathering. जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत करते हैं Shri G.S.Bawa, Chairman PRST and ex-General Manager Airports Authority of India.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected officers, dignitaries on the Dais. Speaking amongst the dignitaries on the Dais is a great honor extended to the individual as well as to the Public Relations Society Delhi. Public Relations Society Delhi joins hands with PRCI because we strongly believe in bridging the gaps wherever they are And Jayaram is a true PR man. He said, because of PRS, he shall join. We always have been joining hands together, but this opportunity is a great opportunity to us to move forward in the area of corporate communication and PR. Now, Geetha rightly mentioned the theme of the talk, leadership communication in complex, uncertain environment. PR people are known as they are thrown into the water without asking them. There is no choice to them. They have been made to go and address the people. So that uncertainty is part of our day-to-day life. But there is a change. Change has come not by our invitation. It has been thrown upon us. Earlier, leaders communicated to inform people. Today, leaders communicate to stabilize the environment, because everybody is equally informed and the turbulence is continuous. So you need to sustain that turbulence, and there the need of the leader is very important. As professional guiding the communication landscape from Delhi, we know that uncertainty is no longer a temporary phase, and we have faced that in today's function also. It is our permanent operating environment. Over the past couple of years, or the recent past also, we have all navigated relentless artificial intelligence-based disruptions, complex geopolitical shifts, a deep trust deficit in the institutions and the information ecosystem that moves for faster and actual facts. Everybody has flagged that the trust is the common factor among all disruptions. Yes, it is very important. In this landscape, corporate strategy deck becomes obsolete within a week, rather within hours. Public policy pivot overnight, yet through all the volatility, organizations and the public still look to one anchor for direction, and that is the voice of the leader. Everybody looks for that, and that is why our focus today is not only apt, rather it is urgently required to be addressed. In complex and uncertain environments, communication is not just a tool of leadership. Rather, I believe that communication is the leadership in today's context. Having spent years sitting as a backbencher, I have observed a lot how leadership works. Steering communication through complex crises and transformation in the public sector, I have learned that exceptional leadership communication comes from three important C's. Within the available time, I will flag all those three C's. First C to me is clarity and certainty. Traditional management taught us that leaders must have all the answers. Today, that exception is an illusion because everybody has all the answers through the AI mode. Worse, pretending to have all the answers actively destroy the trust if you are not really speaking the truth. In times of uncertainty, people do not panic because they receive bad news. They panic because they hear no news. Strategic leadership do something different. What is that? They name the reality. You be real. They state with clear mind to clarity. Here is what we know, here is what we do not know, and here is exactly how we will make our decision. You involve the audience, involve the citizen in your decision. This approach expects our audience intelligence and provides a predictable process they can hold on to. Clarity is not about presenting a complete map of the future. It is about lighting the next step together. Second C, connecting over command. During stable periods, you can lead with top-down directions and targets. In complex times, you must lead with sharing, meaning when anxiety runs high, teams silently look for three fundamental questions. Number one, am I safe? Am I seen in that canvas, or do I matter? If you do not there, then you stop taking interest in the whole process. If your executive communication fails to answer these questions, your performance indicator will not land anywhere. Empathy is not a soft skill, it is a core business strategy. The most powerful message a leader can deliver in a tough phase is not to demand a hit target. I personally see weight you are carrying, and we will navigate that weight transition together. We will shoulder to shoulder help the audience. True connection builds the psychological safety required for people follow into the unknown. We are always moving into the unknown certainty. It is the job of the PR to take the people together. Third C, consistency over charisma. A single inspiring town hall will not carry out in any organization beyond a couple of months or maximum 6 months of managing the situation. In complex environment, rumors travel at the speed of light. So rightly mentioned, rumors travel very fast. And fear quickly fills any information vacuum. So your priority for a primary job is to be the most consistent signal in the noise. You should, even the noise, you should be loud enough to be recognized. You must deliver the same core message across all channels, week after week, even when the update is simply, we are continuing to work on the solution. That consistency eventually builds your culture, and that culture brings a long-term confidence in the audience. The strategic blueprint, let's look at a practical example from the public sector. I do not want to name that, but then during a major regulatory shift, we lack definite operational data. We should never hold the facts and figures. Instead of staying silent or waiting for the final policy blueprint, we always shall feel committed to single discipline. A brief, periodical, weekly, it could be weekly, daily, monthly, as per your convenience, but that brief shall be there. Even when the updates were minor, the steady rhythm reduces institutional anxiety far more than any grand corporate announcement. People stop guessing and they start building trust. As we stand here today, I want to challenge all of us. Are we doing enough to move our leadership from broadcasting to activity dialogue? I don't think we are doing that, but we should be doing that. As empowering our anxiety to say, I do not know, but here is how we will decide. We are still forcing them to change an illusionary world. What then is the ultimate takeaway as PR and corporate communication professionals today who are all sitting here? We must fundamentally elevate our role. We are no longer just the announcer of the executive decisions. We must be the architect of the organizational clarity. We must move from broadcasting to activity dialogue and from reaching to external narratives to the activity shaping them from purpose to purpose. Friends, I will leave you with this final thought. In complex and uncertain environments, leaders are not measured by absolute brilliance to be decisions they make. They are measured by clarity they create while they are making them. When the map head is completely blank, people do not look for the smarter person in the room. They follow the clearest voice. That is important. Thank you very much. With this, I think we should look forward to developing a Viksit Bharat with a clear voice and trust. Time is not much, but time is active. We should act now. Thank you very much.
For that exceptional talk, it beautifully reminds us that institutions flourish when people flourish. Ladies and gentlemen, a nation's strength is reflected not merely in its economic progress, but in its confidence its citizens place in justice. The Constitution gives us right, the judiciary safeguards those rights, and through its wisdom, independence, and integrity, it strengthens the rule of law upon which every democracy rests. And our next distinguished speaker is the inauguration of the event, has devoted all illustrious judicial career to upholding constitutional values, ensuring access to justice, and strengthening public confidence in the judicial system. It is none other than Honorable Shri Justice P.B.Bajanthri. He is the Kannada Rajyotsava Awardee 2025, brings in a distinguished jurist and an eminent member of the Indian judiciary, widely respected for his integrity, judicial wisdom, and unwavering commitment to the Constitution and rule of law. He served with distinction as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Judicature at Patna, where he delivered significant judgments and provided exemplary leadership in judiciary. Justice Bajanthri has consistently encouraged judicial reforms and effective use of technology in the courtrooms. From 2015 to 2025, in his capacity as a judge of High Court, he disposed of more than 40,000 cases in a tenure of 10 years and 9 months. And 90 days to be very precise. As the Chief Justice of High Court of Judicature at Patna in 2025, he implemented the reservation policy for the High Court administrative staff, an exceptional move that was, and even after demitting office, he continues to inspire the legal fraternity, judicial officers, advocates, academicians, and young law students through his guidance, lectures, and commitment to public service. To our inaugurator here, with immense pleasure, sir, I would request you to please address the gathering with a huge round of applause.
The Governing Council, Mrs. Geetha, Shankar, National President, PRCI, my fellow guest of honor, and other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I thank Public Relations Council of India for the honor of inaugurating this forum on transformative governance and invited me to speak on this theme. My first thought was that transformative governance is a phrase we use so often in seminar rooms that we sometimes forget how difficult it is to achieve in the corridors of the actual government office. I want to spend next few minutes trying to close that gap between the phrase and practice. Justice as the first pillar of governance. George Washington once observed that the administration of justice is a first pillar of a good governance. It is a simple sentence, but it carries the entire architecture of functioning of a state within it. No economic plan, no welfare scheme, no infrastructure project can outlive a citizen. Citizens lost faith that they will be treated fairly by the institution that govern them. A road can be built badly and rebuilt. A subsidy can be miscalculated and corrected. But once a citizen concludes that the system itself is indifferent to whether it treats them justly, no amount of technical competency in other departments will restore their faith. Discretion without structure is the oldest danger. Lord Acton's warning that the power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely is quoted so often that we risk forgetting how literally true it is in a day-to-day administration. Justice Douglas of United States Supreme Court gave that warning. It's the sharpest administrative law expression when he said that where discretion is absolute, man has always suffered. That absolute discretion is more destructive of freedom than almost any other human invention. This is not an argument against discretion itself. A state that tried to govern every situation through rigid rule would collapse under its own weight. Discretion exists precisely so that the administrators can respond to a particular facts of a particular case rather than forcing every citizen into the same mold. A licensing officer, a welfare disbursement authority, a municipal planning body, all of them need room to exercise judgment. The question that was never whether discretion should exist. The question is whether it is exercised within the structure or whether it is left to the float free of one. The object of good governance is never served by exercising discretionary power unreasonably, arbitrarily, or without application of mind. That objective is achieved only through justness, fairness, and openness, in consonance with the constitutional command enshrined across several provisions of our Constitution that every citizen be treated equally before the law and that the state act fairly in all its dealings. Wherever discretion must be conferred, it must also be structured through clear rules, definitions, conditions, published parameters, and accessible remedies against its misuse. This is duty as much of Parliament and Legislature as of the delegated authorities who exercise power on the ground each day. An unstructured discretion is not a convenience for an administrator. It is liability waiting to surface, usually at the moment of a citizen least expect it can at least afford it. The judiciary role, guardian, not a rival. In our constitutional scheme, the judiciary does not compete with the executive for the task of governance. It safeguards the space within which governance may legitimately exercise. Though the jurisdiction under Article 32 and 226 of our Constitution and through remedies of mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, habeas corpus, and quo warranto, that our courts have inherited and refined over 7 decades of constitutional practice, the judiciary stands as a citizens of recourse against arbitrary, mala fide, or colorable exercise of power against the decisions taken for improper or an irrelevant consideration. Accountability, not fear. I want to clear that judicial oversight is not meant to instill fear in honest officer. It exists to protect the honest officer as much as citizen, because a bureaucracy operating within a clear, fair and transparent rules need never look over its shoulder. Our courts have repeatedly held that public functionaries must reinforce good governance, observe rules strictly and adhere to the rule of law in public service, and that no functionary is obliged to follow an illegal order merely because it comes from a higher authority. That principle, though it sounds almost obvious when stated aloud, is one of the most protective doctrines available to a conscientious civil servant. It means that integrity is never merely a personal virtue an officer must summon in a moment of crisis. It is a legal shield the system itself provides for. Equally, our jurisprudence recognizes that government must be upright and honest, and that a strong civil service must not yield to a pressure of its political masters when that pressure runs contrary to law. This is not a call for confrontation between civil service and elected authority. The two must do work together and must continue to. It is a rather reminder that loyalty an officer vows is ultimately to the Constitution and to the citizen, that this loyalty is what elected authority itself depends upon its own legitimacy. Transformative governance, what it actually requires. If it may distill all of this into 3 requirements for transformative governance, this forum speaks of: first, natural justice as a floor, not a favor. No citizen should have a decision taken against them without an unbiased decision maker and a fair opportunity to be heard. This is not a technically to be satisfied on paper through a token notice. It is a substantive difference between administration that commands respect and administration that merely commands compliance. Secondly, accountability as a structural feature. System of administration must be transparent enough that a citizen can question and review the action taken against them, not as an act of grace by the officer concerned, but as a right built into the system itself. The third, judicial review as a standing safeguard, not a last resort. The knowledge of that administrative action is always reviewable by an independent judiciary is itself what disciplines administrative action long before any citizen ever files a petition. The most successful exercise of judicial review is paradoxically the one that is never invoked. because the administration aware that it could be has already held its to that standard. I would add forth, borrowing more of practical experience, the doctrine of institutional memory, good governance that depends entirely on one able officer, one committed chairman, or one energetic secretary rarely survives that individual's transfer. Transformative governance, if it is to deserve the word transformative, must be embedded in systems, records, and precedent robust enough to outlast any single tenure. That too, it is a task in which structured discussion, transparent process, and documented reasoning all play their part. To the awardees, it is a fitting that this address precedes the next Gen Governance Awards, because the officers being honored today embody precisely this synthesis, discussion exercise with integrity, whether it is a Bangalore Development Authority's work in citizen-centric urban governance and it's a grievance redressal initiative or individual contribution of officers being recognized today in a water leadership, ethical governance and inclusive education. Each represents administration that has chosen fairness and accountability as the basis of its authority, rather than mere fact of possessing that authority that is transformative governance in practice, and it deserves every recognition PRCI confers upon it. I hope that today's recognition serves not merely as a reward for what has already been achieved, but it is an encouragement to build the very institutional structures I have spoken so that these achievements outlast the individuals being honored for them. Before closing my address, I just wanted to highlight about the corruption and violation of Article 14. Corruption is required to be rooted out from the initial stage, like a selection and appointment. Even for selecting a selection authority itself, there is a corruption that has to be removed. In this regard, stakeholders must see that the selecting authority, the persons who are appointed as a selecting authority, they must be very fair and merited candidates. Then only the corruption can be removed. Even for the purpose of, if the officers or employees are recruited through corruption, even after their selection and appointment, they will be corrupt for 30 to 40 years. This has not been taken note of by stakeholders like state and other persons. Now, coming to the Article 14 of the Constitution, it is a wider article, but just I stick to only one issue. Time and again, now and then, competent authorities, heads of the department, secretary level, so many officers who are competent, they go on passing orders without hearing the persons whose rights are likely to be affected. In this regard, because of lapses on the part of the heads of the department, secretary or competent authority, courts are flooded with number of litigations, and number of litigations are pending for decades, only on the issue whether the party has been heard or not. Again, the court will set aside and remand the matter, again 2-3 years. So ultimately, taxpayer money is being wasted. Suppose if crore money is involved in a particular case, if a court takes 10 years time to decide, ultimately taxpayer money is burden on the taxpayer. So these are the issues which are required to be addressed. Even suppose tomorrow if the authorities or competent stakeholders wants to address this issue, they can constitute a committee and find out all the litigations. Wherever this there is a violation of Article 14 or any statutory provision, they must withdraw those orders and proceed to pass fresh order in accordance with law with a detailed speaking order. Most of the orders which are subject to judicial review are non-speaking order. I have come across hundreds of cases. Even the top officers, heads of the department, secretariat level and competent authorities, but I have come across as a government advocate, I have handled hundreds of cases. I have come across the note sheet maintained by the particular departments. Each department, mostly the clerical staffs will put up the file with a note. they don't address each and every factual aspect, and they don't address the whether regulation has been violated, which regulation is applicable and all. Even the officers are concerned, they will just say note is approved, no, note is not approved, discuss. What is to be discussed? Why the note is required to be approved? Nothing is elaborated. On this score itself, the courts have set aside and remanded the matter to the concerned authority or department. For this purpose, there will be a decade time has been taken. The matter will go up to the Supreme Court. Ultimately, taxpayer money is being wasted in engaging legal expenses and other things. Now, the state or stakeholders must open their eyes and see that this type of violation of Article 14 is required to be addressed on top priority, so that to reduce the litigations, and also the concerned competent authority or heads of the department or secretaries, before occupying their chair in a particular department or other thing, whatever, they must analyze the regulations, whether what are the powers and functions of this person or the competent authority, or the authority functions of the authority. Without looking into the regulation or whatever the service manual or a manual of that particular office, they will just sit and depending upon clerical staff. Clerical staff, they don't analyze properly, and they will just put up the file and get into the trouble. And in this regard, litigations have multiplied. Therefore, with this background, I just want to say, let me leave you with the thought I began with. Justice is not one department of the state standing apart from the governance. It is the guarantee that makes every other department trustworthy. A government that governs well is in the end a government that has internalized the discipline codes exists to enforce so thoroughly that enforcement becomes also almost unnecessary. This is the tomorrow this forum aspires toward, and I am glad to have had the opportunity to inaugurate the conversation that will take us there. I wish PRCI continued success in convening forums such as this one, and I extend my congratulations in advance to every awardee this afternoon. Thank you.
For this deeply insightful reflections. Your words reaffirm that governance achieves its highest purpose when guided by constitutional values, justice, and institutional integrity. Thank you so much, Lordship. I now take the moment, and here is our chief guest. A big round of applause to him, and we welcome him. We have amongst us Shri Basava S. Patil, Advocate General of Sikkim, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India. And I proudly say the son of my mentor and legal god, Justice Sharaj Patil, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. To say a word about Shri Basava S. Patil is a distinguished senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India and presently serves as Advocate General of the state of Sikkim, having been appointed by the Governor of Sikkim in August 2023. He was enrolled as an advocate with the Bar Council of Karnataka in 1991. Recognized for his exceptional legal acumen, he was designated as senior advocate by the High Court of Karnataka at the very young age of 39 years, by making him one of the youngest advocates to receive this distinction. With more than 3 decades of distinguished legal practice and over 25,000 appearances before the Supreme Court, High Courts, Commissions, Tribunals and Arbitral Forums, Shri Patil has built an outstanding reputation across the broad spectrum of legal disciplines. His areas of expertise include constitutional law, criminal law, corporate and commercial law, arbitration, banking, telecommunication, real estate, information and entertainment law. He has represented union and state governments, constitutional authorities, public sector undertakings, multinational corporations and leading business houses in several landmark and high-profile matters. He has also served as member of Supreme Court Board of Examiners for Advocate on Record examination. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to the legal profession, Shri Basava S. Patil has received several prestigious honors, including the National Bar Award in the year 2009 and Aryabhatta International Award in the year 2014. He is widely respected for his profound legal scholarship, impeccable advocacy, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the rule of law, constitutional values, and the administration of justice. This is one of a kind of the stage that we can witness both bar and justice sitting together. And I request our chief guest for the day to address his delivery as chief guest. Please, sir, the podium is yours.
Apologies for joining late. Because of the professional hazard and commitment, I was stuck in the Supreme Court. Please accept my apologies. Honorable Justice P.B.Bajanthri, former Chief Justice of Patna High Court, Dr. Srinivasan, Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, Shri M.B. Jayaram, Mrs. Geetha Shankar, Shri G.S.Bawa, distinguished leadership of Public Relations Council of India, respected civil servants, communication professionals, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you today. I must congratulate Public Relations Council of India for bringing together on one platform people from law, administration, public communication, and public service. These worlds are closely connected, though they do not always engage with one another as often as they should. Lawyers speak of legality, administrators speak of implementation, communication professionals speak of public perception, but the citizen, quite understandably, is interested in something much simpler. Was I treated fairly? That in many ways is where public trust begins. The topic given to me to speak today is rule of law as the backbone of public trust. The expression rule of law may sound somewhat formal. It brings to mind constitutional provisions, courtroom judgments, and legal textbooks. But for an ordinary citizen, the rule of law is not an abstract theory. The citizen experiences it at a police station, at a municipal office, in a government hospital, at a public sector bank, in a school, before a development authority, or increasingly on an online grievance portal. For the citizen, the questions are very practical. Will the same rule apply to me as it applies to someone more powerful? Will I be heard before a decision is taken against me? Will I be told why my application has been rejected? And if the authority has made a mistake, can it be corrected without my having to approach a constitutional court? These are the simple questions which come to a normal citizen's mind. As a lawyer, I should perhaps be careful about suggesting that people should not require lawyers. But the truth is that a citizen should not need a writ petition for every routine administrative grievance. If every complaint has to travel to the High Court or Supreme Court, then somewhere along the way the grievance redressal mechanism has failed. That is why I believe public trust is not built by one grand announcement, one successful campaign, or one impressive presentation. It is built slowly through accumulated memory of fair treatment. And this is also where public communications becomes important. In a gathering organized by Public Relations Council of India, let me put it this way. Reputation is what people hear, but about an institution. Trust is what they experience from it. Communication can certainly explain governance. It can provide context. It can correct misinformation and help citizens understand difficult decisions. But communication cannot legitimize arbitrary action. A well-drafted press release cannot repair a badly reasoned order. A slogan cannot substitute for due process. Public relations can amplify trust, but it cannot manufacture it. The foundation must still be lawful, fair, and accountable governance. The first requirement of rule of law is that the public power must not merely have some legal instrument behind it. Power must itself remain limited by law. There is an important difference between rule of law and rule by law. Rule by law may treat law as a convenient instrument through which power is exercised. The rule of law insists that the exercise of the power must itself be fair, proportionate, reasoned, and open to review. The distinction is not merely academic. Supreme Court's judgment in demolition matter gave the principle a very contemporary expression. The court held that executive cannot assume the role of an investigator, judge, and punishing authority and then proceed to demolish person's property without following due process. Notice must be given. Person affected must have an opportunity to respond. The final decision must record reasons. The larger lesson is relevant to every branch of administration. Administrative speed is important. Citizens should not have to wait endlessly for decisions, but speed cannot replace legality, and visible decisiveness cannot substitute for fairness. To put it mildly, haste in administration can become rather expensive after judicial review. A forceful action may attract applause for a day. A lawful action creates confidence for much longer. This is also why natural justice remains so important, which the learned judge just referred. In a recent judgment of the Supreme Court in Prabhakar Hegde's case, where I had the opportunity to appear and argue, a bench of Justice Dipankar Datta and Prashant Kumar Mishra reiterated that denial of natural justice is itself a serious prejudice. A hearing is not an administrative ceremony. It cannot mean we have already decided the matter, but you may now say whatever you wish. A genuine hearing requires a genuine openness to persuasion, and a reasoned order is often the best evidence that the authority did, in fact, listen. This protects not only the citizen, it also protects the honest public officials. The rule of law is sometimes presented as an obstacle to efficient administration. In reality, clear rules, fair procedures, and recorded reasons are often the greatest protection available to a conscientious officer facing pressure. They allow the officer to say, this is not a matter of my personal preference, this is what the law requires. Seen in that light, the rule of law is not red tape, it's a guardrail. It enables the machinery of government to move quickly but without going off the road. There is another aspect of public trust that is equally important. Public office is a trust, it's not a privilege. In Sita Soren vs. Union of India, a 7-judge bench of Supreme Court held that bribery is not protected by legislative or parliamentary privilege. The importance of this decision extends beyond criminal offences involved. It affirms a simple constitutional truth. Privilege exists to enable proper discharge of public duty. It cannot be a shield for betrayal of that duty. No office is so high that accountability becomes optional. In fact, the higher the office, the greater the obligation to exercise the power with integrity and restraint. I understand Spider-Man is back in theatres, which brings to mind the film's most enduring line, with great power comes great responsibility. Citizens are often more perceptive than institutions assume. They may forgive an honest error. They may accept administration is complicated that resources are limited and every decision will not satisfy everyone, what they find much harder is to forgive double standards. Trust disappears when rules are rigidly enforced against the ordinary citizen, but quietly adjusted for influential. When discretion becomes favor, or when access to government depends upon access to a particular individual, a trustworthy institution is one which a person can rely upon with the office without needing to know the officer. That is the meaning of equality before law. It's not merely a provision in the constitution, it's a moral language in which state communities communicates with its people. Every time the same rule is applied consistently, state communicates fairness. Every time influence produces an exception, state communicates something equally powerful and far more damaging. This brings me naturally to transparency in public communication. In electoral bonds judgment, the Supreme Court emphasized the importance of information in a functioning democracy and ability of citizens to make informed choices. Now, transparency does not mean every government document must immediately enter public domain. There are legitimate areas of confidentiality, national security, investigation, personal privacy, sensitive commercial matters, and internal deliberations. But secrecy must be an exception that can be justified. It cannot become an institutional habit. Every significant public decision should at the very least, be capable of answering 4 basic questions. What has been decided, under what authority, for what reason, and what remedy is available to the person affected. The questions are important not for lawyers, they are equally important for communication professionals. A press release should explain a decision. It should not have to invent justification for it. A dashboard is useful, but only if the data behind it is accurate. A consultation is meaningful only if the objections received are genuinely considered. And an online grievance system that merely generates a ticket number has not necessarily resolved the grievance. Sometimes it is only digitized the citizens' frustration. In the present age, silence is quickly filled by speculation, rumor, and misinformation. The answer is not simply to communicate more. The answer is to communicate credibly, and credibility comes from quality of decision itself. The best public communication, therefore, begins from a controversy before a controversy arises. It begins when the policy or administrative decision is being designed. The legal department, the administrative department, and the communication team should ideally not meet one another for the first time after a petition has been filed. They should work together from the beginning so that the decision is lawful, the reasons are clear, and the communication is honest. There is one final dimension that must not be overlooked. The rule of law must be inclusive. A system cannot claim to enjoy public trust if it works efficiently only for citizens who are educated, well connected digitally, fluent, or physically able. The Supreme Court held that a minimum non-negotiable standard of accessibility cannot be postponed indefinitely in the name of gradual implementation. The wider principle is very important. Access is not charity. It's equal citizenship. A portal that visually impaired person cannot use, an official order that the affected person cannot understand, a welfare scheme accessible only through an unreliable digital interface, or a hearing conducted without adequate language assistance may all appear administratively complete on paper. But each of them may exclude a very person whom the institution was created to serve. Technology has immense potential to make governance faster, more transparent, and more efficient. But digital governance must not become governance only for the digitally comfortable. A system is truly citizen-centric not when it's convenient for the administrator, but when it's accessible to the citizen particularly a citizen who has least influence, the least information, and fewest of the alternatives. That's why the awards being presented today are especially meaningful. Citizen-centric urban governance, sustainable water leadership, ethical policing, and inclusive education are not subjects separate from the rule of law. They are rule of law as citizens actually experience it. The rule of law is visible when water is disturbed according to transparent and rational, distributed according to transparent and rational priorities. It is visible when police force is exercised firmly but fairly. It's visible when education reaches persons who have historically remained outside the system. It's visible when a development authority treats grievance redressal as an institutional duty rather than a favor to a persistent applicant. Before concluding, may I suggest a simple test for public decision making. Whenever an important decision is to be taken, an institution may ask itself 5 questions. 1. Do we have clear legal authority? 2. Are we applying the same standard to everyone placed similarly? 3. Can we explain our reasons and support them with evidence? 4. Have you heard the person who will be affected? 5. And can we communicate the decision truthfully, clearly, and without exaggeration? When the answer to all 5 questions is yes, the institution will rarely need an elaborate campaign to persuade citizens that it is trustworthy. The process itself will communicate trust. In my experience at the bar and in constitutional office, the most durable executive decisions are those whose legal basis is examined before the announcement and not discovered after the challenge. Good governance does not fear reasons, it does not fear scrutiny, it does not treat review as an insult to authority, and it understands that correcting an error is not a sign of weakness. An institution that can acknowledge a mistake and correct it often commands greater respect than one that insists upon defending the indefensible. Ladies and gentlemen, public trust cannot be commanded by already promises there. That to my mind is the foundation of public trust and the true measure of transformative governance. Thank you and my warm congratulations to PRCI and to all the distinguished awardees.
We are waiting to see the awardees and the award ceremony also. There are some speakers from communication side. Mr. Gulshan Sharma and then Priyadarshini Rahul, Arun, Arora, Munish, all of them are also waiting because of the time constraint, kindly limited to 1 minute, and you can express whatever you wanted. Because these unsung heroes, we wanted to project them here. All are waiting here. Mr. Manivandan, I saw some police officers for a minute, and the new venture which we have taken now, let it come first, and then you can speak. You can say the word, few words, okay?
Okay, so thank you, sir, for letting us know. We'll move ahead and invite our speakers. And begin by inviting our special invitees now to share their perspectives with all of us. And as requested, we request you to please stick to about 1 or 2 minutes while you share your valuable insights. I begin by inviting Shri Arun Arora, communication strategist from New Delhi, who's the director, Mevin Chetak Haridash Group. He's an author, columnist, communication professional, CSR pro trainer, and a member of the Board of Studies. May I please invite you to address us. जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत.
in my enthusiasm, I wrote in my CV, I like challenges. So here are the challenges. Thread to finish it within 1 minute. And then very interesting challenge about next gen. When I heard the term next gen, I thought of millennials, Gen Z, Alpha and Beta Gen, and what is happening currently. So I'll quickly go through the motions. I'll try to finish it within 1.5 minutes, very quickly. As we gather at Transformation Governance Symposium to discuss next gen's governance, our conversation naturally centered on tech, including AI workflows, digital portals, automated systems. Yet the true bridge between administrative capability and public confidence lies in something fundamentally human, that is open, proactive and empathetic communication. In today's hyper-connected world, governance, whether in public administration or corporate sector, operates under constant public observation. When complex systems, unexpected hiccups, public naturally seek immediate clarity. When communication takes time, audience don't remain passive. They actively shape the conversation using modern digital tools. Look at the aviation industry. Whenever operational crises happen due to severe weather or system outages, cause mass flight delays, and airlines that issues immediate, honest, real-time updates retains customer goodwill. Similarly, we saw a similar phenomena in the civic space when the student movement titled the Cockroach Janata Party. When concern arose around paper leaks, young aspirants turned to light-hearted satire, memes and social media dialogues to express their thoughts. This was not about conflict. This was a creative demonstration of how Gen Z prefers to communicate. It signals to public institutions that today's youth responds best to direct, conversational and accessible engagement rather than traditional formal announcements. These modern touch points bring us to core 3 principles. One is proactive clarity that prevents uncertainty. In high-stakes situations, timely and factual updates demonstrate leadership is attentive, engaged and actively working on solutions. Second is the dialogue that builds shared understanding. Modern stakeholders appreciate transparency when the institution explains not just a decision, but the rationale behind it. Monologue evolve into meaningful civic partnership. And finally, openness reflects institutional maturity, acknowledging operational bottlenecks or administrative challenges early is a sign of confidence. It shows that our institutions are resilient, responsive, and committed to continuous improvements. As public relations professionals and governance stewards, our goal is to design communication channels that are as dynamic, as responsible as public we serve. By prioritizing proactive openness, we do not merely manage, we build enduring trust. Proactive, transparent communication leaves no room for ambiguity, ensuring that institutions and citizens move forward together and with mutual faith and clarity. Thank you and Jai Hind.
My wishes to all of you here. So now that we've been used to, having a quick conversations in Supreme Court, so maybe knowing it much better, so you put me back into the court forum. So first and foremost, the topic that you're giving me is like citizen orientation and access to justice. I would love to talk hours on it, but you're giving me 2 minutes. Let me just quickly try to connect certain facts that may not be very accessible to most of us. Having a lot of confusion and not much of confidence with the institutions in the pretext of social media growth. It is my abound duty to give you a little more facts to tell you how different and how unique is Indian judicial system to the rest of the world. So I am taking United States, because that's the country that we believe to be one of the leading institutions in the world. Who made me really run faster. And so starting with it is United Nations, the Supreme Court of India and United Nations. As a citizen of India, you can't go reach the Supreme Court directly. Rather, the Supreme Court decides the cases which it feels fit to be heard. Rather, in India, every citizen of India has the right to climb up to the Supreme Court of India until the person is satisfied that his version of justice is being heard. And Supreme Court of India hears almost about 55,000 cases a year, wherein we talk about the United States has only 70 cases to be heard every year. So now talking about the access to justice, this is another best example that I can give you, is the Supreme Court sits for 195 days a year to hear all the appeals.
and the United Nations sits for about 140 hours in 65 days. So having these said in, we always have this always have this intent to criticize the system that we are in. So probably we are not very, grateful to the system we belong to and the way we have evolved for the country that we have been. Let's please recall ourselves that about in 1950, when Supreme Court had come into its establishment, we had only about 8 Supreme Court judges with about 34 crore people. So today we have 34 judges in Supreme Court and we have almost 150 crore people. Do you ask me the system is fair? May not be yes. Do you ask me the system is completely accessible? May not be yes. But is cribbing the only answer for it? Absolutely not. So for the place we belong to, all that we respect, the general public here, to have a notice is to understand that law may not be the only way to keep telling you how to maintain integrity and ethics. I think from the land that we belong, ethics, integrity, tolerance, and having equal respect to each one of us is the thing that the land itself has grown us with. So let's go back to the roots of our country and respect the law that we belong to and respect and trust the institutions that we have. Thank you, sir.
PhD service industry. Sir, can you please come and address the cabinet?
Most respected Jayaram ji, distinguished guests on the dais, and wonderful audience. I do not want to stand between lunch and the precious time. Quickly, I would just like to give you few, anecdotes. From the Indian Army, when I was serving as a major, I did my master's and PhD in service industry, and after clearing my interview in the UPSC, I moved on deputation to Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. It was indeed a great pleasure. Army was a different career and tourism was altogether different. And having picked up a couple of things over there, Jayaram ji had come in 2011 to Chandigarh. At present, I am heading, after leaving Ministry of Tourism, Director General Chamber for Service Industry. There are 85 verticals in the service industry, and Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India has shortlisted, selected and synthesized 12 champion sectors of service industry. Tourism, hospitality, education, health, media, entertainment, radio, television, theatre, music, environment. Couple of areas are there which we can take into consideration. Services is today, services is tomorrow. Even if I go for the agriculture or manufacturing, whatsoever we are doing in agriculture, you require services even to have those produced being reached to the market. If you come for manufacturing, once again the vehicle is made, but you've got to bring it to the market and it requires service. Services today and services future. I would request Jayaram ji, next time the delegation should be taken to one of the country. Of course, India is doing great, but there is no harm in learning from others also. Those are doing better than us. Next PRCI conference should be done in Singapore. If you want to see legal services, you want to see intellectual services, you want to see education services, you want to see health services, whatsoever you want to talk about, a country which was nowhere, how it has emerged. And people, those know basically services sector from armed forces. I have got General Sharad Kapoor also, who has come with me, former Director General Resettlement, and lots of programs which are being done. We set up India's first finishing school for service industry. When I deal with my grandchild, before closing, I would like to say, if I appear for his 9th class exam, I will fail. I will not be able to pass his subject. So much is being taught to the kids. I think let's live with the reality. And when we talk about competition, I think we got to move from there to Finland, and we got to be in collaboration instead of competition. Nobody has got a competition with anybody. You have a competition with yourself, and that is the way we got to move on. Rest we will take on during lunchtime. Before Jayaram ji shows me his eyes, I would like to close.
The shows you're a true gem of service excellence and founding president of Mentor to please render the address.
Sharma ji, you have taken your words. We are going to London and Chicago.
Ramji and Babaji, Dr. Shankar ji, thank you for hosting me here. It's indeed incredible. So, well, I won't take much of your time. I'm a scientist. Most of us has driven a scooter or have seen one. I've made a scooter that you can fold and carry like a laptop in your hand. And I'm working on a project. We all have seen Pushpak and Ramayana. I'm working that we also think and fly. Right, so that is where I was coming upon that we humans, how we have evolved is like right from the industrial revolution, that whether we can build machines to digital revolution, whether we can connect the world, and then AI, how fast we can innovate, but the best is how human civilization can evolve is that whether we humans, we can govern what we create. That is a big question, and that is the leap of faith we have to take. And the society we are living in, it should be based that it shouldn't replace its humans, it should augment the humans, and we should be creating a sustainable world where it should be like, you know, rather we should be looking for the profits, we should be creating a world that is sustainable and survivable. And I have lived past 30 years of my life working, but I have dedicated it to the humanity. We have created world's largest ecosystem, Dignitaries, which is working pro bono for the humanity. Rest as we will take forward on the lunch, but I will leave you with one question. Maybe we say one thought that innovation says what can we build, right? Governance says what should we build, but the future belongs to the one who courageously answers these both the questions together. Thank you so much.
To please come and address the gathering. Something new, and I want my co-host to please do the honors of explaining what this program.
As we stand on the threshold of a new era in global discourse, the Public Relations Council of India, that is PRCI, is proud to unveil the official logo for our landmark 20th Global Communication Conclave here in New Delhi. The Governing Council Director, AKS Dr. K. Srinivasan, will be unveiling the logo now. So we request everyone to please join us in. Please join us as we redefine the future of communication. So ladies and gentlemen, for 2 decades, PRCI has spearheaded thought leadership and united the sharpest minds in strategic communication. Our 20th conclave theme, as we know, communication reimagined, is a powerful call to action to lead with vision, authenticity and technological foresight. So let us go ahead with the release of the logo. Ladies and
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having it in Delhi. It is in the IAS Officers Association Club. In the month of November, I request all of you to kindly attend our global meet, which is for 3 days. We will be there to entertain you all on the. It is the 20th year we are celebrating again, because we love Delhi people much more better than anyone else. Kindly make it possible to attend. I have told the dates, 26th and 27th November. Yeah. They come forward, Mr. Ajay, can you stand up? And he is the backbone of he is the director of PRCI. And I don't think he is here. He has come, your friend, another director. Rajan. Rajan Sehgal. He was supposed to be here. I think he is headed up somewhere. And other than that, there are some tourism people. They are also here backing us. I'm sure we will all be here on the 26th, 27th November, but maybe the place is different. Let us enjoy the PR hospitality on 26th, 27th. Thank you so much.
अब क्षण आ चुका है जिसकी हम प्रतीक्षा कर रहे थे. अब वो समय है जब हम. Ladies and gentlemen, the PRCI Next Gen Governance Awards have been instituted by PRCI for the first time as a dedicated national platform to recognize transformative public administration and governance excellence. The Next Gen Awards honor public institutions and public servants who have moved beyond conventional administration to create systems that are transparent, accountable, innovative, and citizen-centric. The awards seek to identify.
I have to mention some of the names. When we had an idea to look at these unsung heroes, now we next year. This year it was only the government people identified. Mr. Manivannan, he was my colleague when I was with SM Krishna as a communication advisor. We had a lot of problem with the water scarcity and then Veerappan case and all that. He fought all these things all alone, Mr. Manivannan, because I personally know him. We had to have some sleepless nights, 365 days, but we won the battle, whatever it is. We have identified Mr. Manivannan, the unsung hero of the day.
Please hand over the institutional award to entire VDA team. It was in the leadership of N.A. Harris and now it will be received by our Major Manivannan IAS. A huge round of applause. We also have the PRCI Next Gen Award over. Again, it will be received by our very own P. Manivannan sir.
One minute. Happy congratulations, sir. One of my old friends. Thank you so much.
And as already announced, PRCI Next Gen Award for Visionary Leadership goes to Shri N.A. Harris, and on his behalf, may I please once again request Major Manivannan, IAS, to please receive this award. Shri N.A. Harris is a four-term member of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly and the chairman of the Bangalore Development Authority. Under his leadership, BDA has placed greater emphasis on citizen-centric administration, transparency, institutional accountability, and responsive public service delivery. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we once again have a huge round of applause? Many congratulations to Shri N.A. Harris, and on his behalf, this award has been received by Shri Kumar.
Next up, we have PRCI Next Gen Award for Transformative Public Service, Ethical Public Service. Goes to Major Manivannan IAS, Commissioner of Bangalore Development Authority.
Srija, you please come. You are also. Come here. You are also a member.
Many congratulations to all the awardees for these wonderful awards which are being presented to the deserving people and teams. So after this, ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving to the individual awards. The PRCI Next Gen Award for Sustainable Water Leadership will be presented to Special Chief IAS. Zordar Tali aayenge liye. Please join hands, ladies and gentlemen, as we present this award to Shri Abbasi for the exemplary work for sustainable water leadership. He has also worked as chairman of Assam Power Distribution Company Limited, as well as the Special Chief Secretary Housing and Urban Affairs in the state. His strategic deployments resulted in a historic quantifiable drop in extremist.
Brief about Sir Sri Arun IPS, 1992 Director General of Police. His jurisdiction, DGP or Home Department, Chhattisgarh. He shifted the state security camps deep within historically inaccessible high conflict terrains. These camps serve as secured anchors enabling civil agencies to safely build roads, public distribution shops and telecom towers in former zero-access zones. The strategic developments resulted in historic quantifiable drop in extremist violence. More importantly, this secured
education leadership, and this will be presented to Shri Dr. Rajiv Kumar Singh. Please join hands. Director Academic, National Institute of Open Schooling, Ministry of Education, New Delhi. Dr. Rajiv Kumar Singh. He is managing the academic framework for over 3 million active learners, and he has integrated the world's largest open school with the National Education Policy NEP 2020. He pioneered the creation of highly accessible digital content, sign language integrated curricula, and Mukt Vidyavani audio platforms. That has gone in to get these awards for them. सभी को ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं, बधाई देते हैं हम। और इसके बाद जल्दी ही एक ऑडियो विजुअल हम फिल्म देखेंगे, शॉर्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री, जो कि है अवार्ड्स के ऊपर कि ये अवार्ड्स क्यों दिए जाते हैं। तो आपको इन अवार्ड्स की जानकारी थोड़ी विस्तार में इस डॉक्यूमेंट्री में अब मिलने वाली है। हम निवेदन करना चाहेंगे कि सभी लोग प्लीज इसे देखें, और अगर हमारे गणमान्य अतिथि
picture of this. Be ready to see the unsung heroes of the day.
The PDA has played a vital role in shaping Bengaluru by developing residential layouts, roads, parks, civic amenities, and essential urban infrastructure. Today it serves millions of citizens through scientific planning and a citizen-centric approach to urban development. As Bengaluru has grown, so have the expectations and needs of its citizens. The Bangalore Development Authority receives a wide range of public grievances, including issues related to the allotment of plots and flats, delays in taking possession of allotted properties, property registration, and e-card. To eliminate delays and ensure transparent governance, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri D.K. Shivakumar, directed the creation of a robust and transparent. Under the leadership of BDA Chairman Shri N.A. Harris, the BDA Guarantee Initiative was introduced. This innovative single-window grievance redressal system has already helped thousands of citizens obtain timely solutions. Remarkably, even complex issues that had remained unresolved for 3 or 4 decades have by TAPL system, a first in the country. The Bangalore Development Authority has implemented a unified TAPL system in collaboration with the Department of Posts, Government of India. The TAPL section, which receives grievances directly from citizens, scans all submitted documents and converts them into digital records. At the initial stage itself, every application is categorized based on priority into urgent, general or OHM, open house meeting. Applications related to essential civic infrastructure such as roads, drains, pipelines and other public utilities are classified as urgent, while requests for documents such as sale deeds and other routine services are categorized as general. Every application is assigned a grievance GID within 5 minutes of submission, and the applicant receives the GID via SMS on their registered mobile number. Complex or case-specific issues are classified under OHM, open house meeting, and are forwarded to the Citizen Assistance Cell for further processing. BDA aims to resolve urgent applications within 7 days, general applications within 30 days, OHM applications within 100 days through the open house meeting mechanism. The Citizen Assistance Cell, also known as CAC, serves as a bridge between citizens and the administration. The CAC functions 24 hours a day. Citizens can register their grievances through phone calls, WhatsApp or email. In addition, the cell actively monitors issues highlighted on social media platforms, newspapers and television news channels, ensuring that every relevant concern reaches the appropriate officials without delay. The 100-day resolution guarantee. Every grievance is closely monitored under a mandatory 100-day resolution framework. Inspired by the principles of the Lok Adalat system, this mechanism promotes accountability, transparency, and speedy resolution. What is an open house meeting? The open house meeting, or OHM, is one of the most significant features of the BDA Guarantee Initiative. It provides a transparent public platform where applicants can directly present their grievances before the BDA chairman, the commissioner, senior officials, and all concerned departments. The entire meeting is recorded and broadcast live on the PDA's official YouTube channel, ensuring complete transparency. Officials attend the meeting with all relevant files and records, allowing many issues to be resolved immediately during the proceedings. If additional time is required, citizens receive a written commitment specifying the expected timeline for resolution. And follow-up. A grievance categorized for an open house meeting may be discussed must be issued during the third meeting. Following every resolution, the Citizen Assistance Cell contacts the applicant to confirm whether the grievance has been satisfactorily addressed. If the citizen confirms satisfaction, the grievance is formally closed. If not, the case is placed before the open house meeting once again for further consideration. OH of these 4,131 grievances have been resolved, demonstrating the effectiveness and impact of the BDA Guarantee Initiative.
So this transformational governance, I think, is very much needed.
ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು BDA. With the help of Commissioner, Committee Kumar, because of this help only I could able to today I got that offer this organized site development.
Being the last speaker, last session on such a serious topic and such a marathon day, I could understand the plight of the listener. So I'm not going to take much of time. I'm going to take only 2 minutes, 1 minute. I will be talking about my organization and those are what all we have done in terms of ensuring inclusivity in the school ecosystem. I'm working with National Institute of Open Schooling, which is an autonomous institution of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Government of India is having 2 national boards. One is very famous, Central Board of Secondary Education. We are very lesser known in the government. We are the Institute of Open Schooling. But the mandate what the Government of India has given to us is to reach the unreached. और जो alternative schooling है और a person who is standing at last in the queue of the society, how to take the education to that last people who is standing in the queue of the society, वो हमारा एक core mandate है what has been given to the Government of India to us. एक छोटा सा अनुभव है और मैं उसी अनुभव को आप सबके साथ साझा करने का प्रयास करूँगा। 2020 की बात है, एक रायपुर के पास हमारा एक स्टेट इंस्टीट्यूशन है और स्टेट इंस्टीट्यूशन इट्स एन स्पेशल एक्रेडिटेड जो है पढ़ने की वो अंग्रेजी, हिंदी, तमिल, बंगाली तो नहीं है। दिस आर लिंग्वा फ्रैंका टू अस, दिस आर नॉट द नेटिव लैंग्वेज, हमारा तो है नहीं। हमारी तो जो पढ़ने की भाषा है वो एक सांकेतिक भाषा है और एज सांकेतिक भाषा इज नॉट लिस्टेड इन द 8th शेड्यूल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस। तो भारत में किसी भी स्कूल एजुकेशन बोर्ड में Indian Sign Language has not been accorded the status of a language subject in the.
बहुत आभार। और इससे पहले कि हम आगे बढ़ें और tokens of gratitude present करें, please join hands as we welcome on stage Sri Narendra, Ladies and gentlemen, he has served 4 prime ministers under different governments. He was the Government of India spokesperson, and post his retirement he has worked for UNICEF, UNAID, European Commission projects, etc.
सबको मेरा नमस्कार. I will not take more than 2 minutes. Firstly, I want to compliment PRCI for instituting this award. Normally, anything done within the government is rarely celebrated. Only when a Harvard Business School or something comes here and studies and highlights it, then we recognize. When we talk of transformative governance, I do not know how many of you have visited any government department and seen what is called a citizen charter. I used to be a member of the Secretaries Committee that was looking into this citizen charter. Each department used to come with a long list of promises. One question we asked was, do you really mean it? Are you prepared to answer it? Have you provided the money? Have you trained the people? Very often, out of 20 citizen charter points, it used to be reduced to 3 or 4. This was introduced in 92-94, but every department has a citizen charter. It is rarely honored. The more in breach. When economic reforms were introduced, both Mr. Finance Minister Manmohan Singh and Chidambaram started talking of ease of doing business, for which the Prime Minister had a joke. Prime Minister Rao used to say, if you do ease of dealing with government by citizens first, ease of doing business will become almost easier. Government is a very complex system, we all know it, but each administrator, each person dealing with anything can make a small little dent here and there. Even that makes a lot of difference. But very often this is not celebrated outside the department. There is no multiplier effect that takes place out of it. I think PRCI has taken initiative. The next level is, can we create an innovation exchange platform? It has to be done at the central level and at the state secretariat level, so that whatever innovation takes place at a small little municipality, panchayat, or at any other level gets known and others also try to copy it. Just now we saw how VDA has been transformed. I will give my experience. 2 years ago, when the Karnataka government announced that e-Khata is a must for all the properties in Karnataka state, I want to get my e-Khata. The price was anything between 1 lakh to anything that you can, and a lawyer was required. But I'm happy to say my own experience sitting in Gurgaon, 1 month ago, I could get it in a matter of 1 day. This is transformative governance, citizen interface. So I would request Mr. Jayaram and PRCI try to communicate what kind of innovations have happened and how any other state or any other department copy it. Communication, we have spoken a lot. The eminent lawyer, Mr. Patil, mentioned about communication. Publicity should not become duplicity. Very often, communication jumps ahead of the implementation. We need to ensure that our communication is paced properly, it is honest, and it goes along with the implementation. Very often in PR, our credibility is very low. Why? It is a question constantly we need to ask ourselves and see that communication is honest. One of the lessons I learned from Narasimha was when any minister used to go and say, I have done this, I want to hold a press conference. He said, why do you want to hold a press conference? If your policy is good, if you implement it on its own, get known. Don't announce it in advance. This is a lesson I learned from a great Prime Minister with whom I worked. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts, ideas, views with all of us today. And thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a round of applause for the presidential address that we just heard. It is time that may we please request Shri Vinay, Kumar and Shri Manivanan to present. Shri Ramakrishna Achan, our gratitude to Shri Basa Prabhu Patil. तालियों के साथ सभी का आभार व्यक्त कर रहे हैं। Please join us, ladies and gentlemen. May we please request Ms. Geetha to please join Shri Manivanan. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप हमारे बीच आए। Thank you very much. और श्री अजय गुप्ता जी से हम निवेदन करना चाहेंगे, श्री अजय गुप्ता जी, कि आप श्री मणिवन्नन जी के साथ इसके पश्चात रोटेरियन AKS डॉक्टर श्रीनिवासन जी को एक टोकन ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन join your hands with each of our dignitaries who have joined us here today and given us the precious time and insights.
Thank you, sir. It's not over. No rain, no water. Politically, we started banging each other. So when S.M. Krishna was there, myself, Dr. Manivannan was also there. We were in the government. They are neighbors. We, myself and Dr. Ambarish, he was also a minister at that time. We used to attend the court hearings. I think Mr. Narayan was our judge, if I am right. In front of the juries I am talking about this. Narayan was also there, we were also there. Judge asked one question. You are all fighting for what? Just think, she is a mother and there are 2 children. There is one bread. What you will do? He was jokingly asking the jury. That came the reply, it was, no, we will share it and give it. That's what everyone was thinking, no? You will share the bread, whatever you have, only one bread, you will share it and give. Everybody started clapping. Then Narayan stood up and said, Judge sir, I don't have even a bread, where is the question of sharing it? That was the reply, because it was the situation at that time. There was no water at the, rivers. So even we communication people, we have to be alert. We have to balance everything. That's the job we are doing from the Public Relations Council of India. We may be crying inside. That's what Mr. Manivannan did. He is cool, he is good, everything. But when it comes to the work, he is very serious and do his work and get away with that. So people, we need such people all the time. There are many people who have to identify now. First we have, this is the beginning. We may end up with some private people also. Now we are taking it because the unsung heroes are always with the government. We have so many layers to come out of that. It is very difficult to come out. We have found out one big gentleman. He has done his job well. Now we are selected him to this time. There may be so many people. We will do our work, continue to do our work in the future to come. Thank you so much. Srinivasan He was very happy. He's our backbone actually. What had happened? Today there was some problem. Our expected people from Bangalore, there were so many to come. There is a, ministerial this thing, going on. So people had to stay back in Karnataka. They could not attend them. Our Srinivasan said, so, no sir, we will have to recognize even in, from them in Bangalore. Now we have decided to felicitate our heroes and the other people, who, Mr. Harris and other people who have not come today for that, because of that reason. We are having it in 10 days. We will have one program, felicitation program in Bangalore, wherever it may be. And Mr. Srinivasan said, I'll take care of it, don't worry, it has to be done. And Karnataka people also should know what's happening in Karnataka. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. We will have it in the next week, wherever Mr. Manivan and other ministers are available. We will have it in a week. Thank you.
For bearing with the Indian slow time, Indian standard time. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of PRCI, Delhi chapter, closing occasion of Transformative Governance Symposium. First and foremost, I express my profound gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Shri Basawa Prabhu Patilji, Advocate General of Sikkim, Senior Advocate Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice P.B.Bajanthri ji, former Chief Justice High Court of Judicature at Patna, for taking your precious time from your busy schedule to be with us and encouraging all the participants with your presence. I thank our guest of honor, Shri B.B. Vittal ji. Also, I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Shri Venkat Narayan ji, for sharing his expertise and making the session intellectually stimulating. My sincere thanks to Shri S. Narendra for presiding over today's program. I would also like to thank Shri M.B. Jayaram, our Chief Mentor and Chairman Emeritus PRCI, Shri T. Vinay Kumar, Chairman Governing Council, Ms. Geetha Shankar, Shri Pashupati Sharma, Shri Ajay Gupta, Director PRCI, Mr. Rotarian Dr. A.S. Srinivasan, Director General Council PRCI. Special thanks to all of you for unveiling the logo of 20th PRCI Global Communication Conclave and for your vision and unwavering support. I want to acknowledge the contribution of the PRCI and PRST teams with special thanks to Mr. G.S.Bawa, J.P. Sharma ji, Lalit Gupta ji, Jyoti Kumar ji, J.P. Dondial ji and all the dignitaries present here. Not to forget Mr. Sukesh Nathani, CEO Trident, Mr. Sudhir Sobati, Director PRCI, Mr. Alok Avasthi, Ms. Anshu Arora, and President, Secretary and team from Kannada Sangha, Mr. Praveen Sood, Mr. Karthikeyan from CBI Delhi. I would also like to thank the organizing committee, these volunteers and the entire team of PRCI and PRST. Our gratitude to all the collaborators and media partners for making today's event possible. Once again, I would like to thank you all and let's carry forward the knowledge and connections built today. Thank you so much, Jai.
We've done in memory and in appreciation of Justice Shivraj Patil. We have our chairperson Ramakrishna Hechel and also we have our vice chairperson promotions Rotarian AKS Dr. Srinivasan. And also
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Look at the camera.
1 minute.
Thank you.